want to announce that Stadium and Gale is entering into a brand new partnership with an exciting new NIL platform at the University of Florida called the Gatorverse. So with that being said, we want to welcome Brian Klatsky from the Gatorverse onto the program today to talk a little bit more about what the Gatorverse is doing, how it's going to help the student athletes at the University of Florida. So with that being said, Brian, it's a pleasure to have you on the show this morning.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Pleasure to be here.
Well, we are missing Nick. I think you weren't in yet when we said Nick, we think is oversleeping. So you never know what you're going to get with Stadium and Gale, but here we are. Brian, well, let's talk a little bit more about the Gatorverse. So, certainly we're excited about the partnership that we can have with you guys. But for those that are listening that don't know about the Gatorverse, talk just a little bit about your program and what you guys are trying to accomplish.
Well, we're really excited about the Gatorverse for a variety of reasons. And first off, we started this process really dating back to July of 21, and it's been a build from there. We've tested our platform in a few different spots. Initially launching with the men's basketball program up at UConn as really proof of concept, and from there, really we're able to develop the full model around the Gatorverse. And, as you guys were just talking about some of the issues at Miami, for us, it's been really being at the pulse of NIL since the beginning and sort of evaluating all the moving parts to come up with something that the fans can truly understand and engage with the athletes. So that's really where the Gatorverse comes from. I'm not gonna hide the fact that I am a Gator. I got my MBA here in Gainesville in '97, which those roots go way back, and that's brought some of my passion to this project.
We're excited. So there are a lot of NIL platforms out there. There's a lot of different organizations around the country giving back to student athletes. Talk to the listeners about what somebody can expect from the Gatorverse, how you guys are trying to be different. You guys are doing some really neat and unique things. So I want you to shed some light on that as well.
I think first we got to separate the difference between a fan model and a booster model. The Gatorverse is without a doubt a community built around the fan base to engage with the athletes, where a collective model is focused on boosters really getting behind raising capital into marketing agreements for the players. I think when the NCAA legislation went into effect, I think the end game everybody was thinking about was how do you connect brands with those student athletes? And the collective became this really unexpected model that came out of that. What we want to do is get back to the roots of really connecting that fan and the athlete in really creative and innovative ways of engagement. So one of the simplest ways, what we're doing right now with the men's basketball team and the women's gymnastics team is creating autographed collectible cards that you can call them rookie cards, whatever you want. They come on a, platinum, like an Amex platinum card. And what the end game here is, yes, we're going to reward the fan for buying this card, but that card's also going to open up a lot of utility. And for example, with the gymnastics team, buying any one of the athletes' cards also gets you invited to a meet and greet clinic with the gymnast that they will run. And we expect a lot of the young fans that, fill up the Exact Tech Arena every gymnastics meet to be out there to meet the gymnast and actually have a real clinic where they can interact and learn more about what it takes to become an SEC athlete. On top of that, it's also connecting this with merchants. This comes in both the digital and in the platinum card. And really the exciting part about it is the athletes are getting a majority of the revenue. So we use our platform to enable them to take advantage of their own personal NIL. And as you'll see, some of these athletes are really excited and they're very active on social media promoting, the whole project, because this is about rewarding the fan, not just writing checks and handing out money.
Yeah, what NIL really was built for. I think it's important to just educate, because NFTs had like this stigma on it of it being like kind of fraudulent. And I think people need to realize exactly what it is. It's not just a random art. And I think the word you used best was utility and expressing to the person. Can you dumb down that whole part of NFT so people not thinking they're just getting digital art, some random art? It also comes with a physical asset and some benefits, correct?
Yeah, no, so that's a great point here. This is not an NFT project. This is not a crypto project. However, having that digital access pass enables us to do really creative things where you can show that digital NFT to get a reward at a merchant. And that is, and also that will also be your ticket to come to a gymnastics clinic, come to a basketball camp, come to an exhibition game, come to a tailgate. That is, and for us, the NFT isn't the value. We give away the NFT. Any kind of digital access pass that comes with the collectible is thrown in for free. We're not here trying to tell you that the NFT is valuable because it's digital art. We're telling you it's valuable because it's unlocking experiences, engagement with those athletes.
And Brian, I want you to talk about the other side of that as well. I know that you guys are working locally with some merchants and some folks and businesses in the Gainesville market. But I know when we talked over the last few weeks, you mentioned that being a member of the Gatorverse could also unlock business opportunities for an individual that has a card or maybe coming up to Gainesville. Talk a little bit more about that side of the marketplace as well.
Well, what's nice is, merchants get access to, athletes through the Gatorverse. For example, Stay Gainesville is an Airbnb operator in Gainesville. They have 64 units right now. Anyone that purchases any athletes collectible is going to automatically get discounts at Stay Gainesville. The next layer to that is us connecting with local merchants. Just take a hypothetical here. You take a basketball player, you set a reward. If so-and-so scores 20 points tonight, come into this pizza place, bring your card, and you'll get a free pizza the next day. As you've seen, Chick-fil-A does an SEC deal where if a road team misses 2 consecutive free throws, then everybody gets a chicken sandwich, right? We want to be able to have local merchants that can't afford a $10 million promo deal with the SEC to say, hey, I can do a few $1,000s with a gymnast. If she gets a perfect 10, we have a reward at our, we have built-in discounts, but then there's also an extra layer of performance rewards. And that's what the technology has enabled us to do. And I think having a great team on the ground in Gainesville to connect those merchants opens up a lot of opportunities for the athletes.
Absolutely. So Brian, talk to us a little bit about your strategy. I know that you've mentioned the basketball program, you've mentioned the gymnastics program, as well as you guys have all under contract, but what's the goal and the plan for all student athletes at the University of Florida?
No, and I think that's great. A great thought here. This is not a basketball gymnastics project. This is, all student athletes at the University of Florida. Obviously, baseball and softball are really the next 2 teams we're going to work with. From there, we'll get into the football team over the summer as a launch in the fall. Bring in women's soccer, all the Olympic sports. For us, what we've been able to learn over the last year and a half is that each of these sports have a tremendous fan base of their own. The gymnastics, team has their unique fan base. The basketball team has their fan base. The football team has theirs. So for us, it's let's build that whole model around each of those individual fan bases.
No, I think it's awesome. Dope stuff, man.
Well, Brian, before we get you off the call here today, talk to everybody about where they can sign up, where they can learn more. We've been highlighting the website here on YouTube, but let everybody know where they can sign up and learn more.
Yeah, I mean, Gatorverse.io is really our landing page where you can really get introduced to everything, and from there, you can get into the basketball collection, the gymnastics collection. One of the things that we're really focused on is through social media, through podcasts, and through, we actually have billboard going up on 75. There won't be one in town to share the story. Really want to educate the fan base at what it's all about. This is not something that happens overnight. We don't expect 3 million fans to come out tomorrow, but one of the things that we're doing this summer is we are going to be sponsoring and managing the Gatorverse alumni team that will be playing in the $1 million TBT. That will be coached by Torian Green, and we expect to bring a lot of Gator alumni back for an exhibition game in town. So to create a really fun event to have the fans come out and sort of see the Gator legends compete and prepare that TBT team to go out on the road is going to be a really fun event for us this summer. And I think whether you're actively playing professional basketball or not, I do think it'll bring back all the legends. I think you'll see Joakim, you'll see you'll see guys like that will come to town and probably want to play in the exhibition game, and other guys will want to compete and go through, that single elimination tournament for the $1 million prize. So for us, it's like, let's engage Gators of old and sort of create a connection to the current athletes.
Yeah, I think experiences is very key in all this, and it's also a missing aspect of NIL, being able to actually get next to these players in different type of moments, to be able to, whether it's the basketball game, whether it's Trinity at a restaurant doing a pop-up show, whatever it may be. But I think the experience part, a part of these benefits packages, and also supporting the student athletes is pretty dope. Instead of just giving money to something, you know exactly what it is, and you got benefits to go pull up and actually engage with these athletes. It's pretty dope.
And I think, what we ultimately expect to do this fall is being able to just, when you purchase any card, you're directly supporting that athlete. You're not just putting money in a pool. You're saying, hey, I'm giving pretty much all this revenue to this athlete. And what we ultimately expect is having tailgates around football games where your card is going to get you free food and drink and bring into like Gatorverse events. And I think that's really what the fans want. I think just, writing checks get old. There's got to be a give and a take. And this is where I think we have the model where you connect the dots on all that.
Absolutely. And do want to mention, Brian just mentioned the TBT tournament. Florida will be coached by Torian Green, Corey Brewer, Keith Stone, Kayvon Allen, Igor Kulichev, all on that team. And I think some more names to be announced. And we're super excited about the opportunity to partner with the Gatorverse as well. We're going to be excited to help them with some content, as well as really getting to know the athletes beyond just what you know them as gymnastics players or softball players or tennis players at the University of Florida. Really dive in and get to understand their story and who they are as individuals and create that personal connection. We're super excited about the opportunity to help the Gatorverse not only connect back to the student athletes, but also allow the individuals that do participate in the Gatorverse to receive offers and to be able to receive some benefits from it. At the end of the day, an NFT, while a digital asset, also creates a part of a community. And so we're super excited to be a part of that community with the Gatorverse, with Brian, with his team. They've put a lot of hard work into this. It's a proven model that has worked at other schools as well. And we're super excited to see its growth at the University of Florida as well. So with that being said, Brian, any final thoughts before we let you get on with your day, my friend?
Well, I'll tell you, the funny thing is, on that TBT thing, those were the early commits that are on that graphic there. As soon as that went public, the phone's been ringing off the hook. Like, everybody wants to reconnect. Like, the legends want to come back. They want to run it back again, have the champions, get another national championship.
Y'all need a point guard podcaster. You guys can holler at me, man. I'll run the point out there.
I love it.
Right, guys.
Well, Brian, we again appreciate your time. Again, go check out Gatorverse.io, and we're super excited about our continued partnership with the Gatorverse. And with that being said, Brian, you have a great rest of your day, my friend, and we will talk with you soon.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Have a good one, Brian.